Welcome into the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. My name is Joey Petersen. So happy that you guys are all with us today. It's been a very, very busy past 24 hours. As we know, the roster had to cut down from 90 men to 53 yesterday, which meant 37 were waved goodbye, and then 17 today were said hello again, brought back to Baltimore, and filled out the practice squad. Really, really good squad they got back in Baltimore, especially when we talk about one sneaky good signing. And, of course, I'm talking about quarterback Tyler Huntley, who is back in Baltimore again for his third stint, I believe. Maybe even more than that. Snoop is back in Baltimore, and I'm really, really pumped up about it, okay? I think that this is a guy that is a perfect fit in this offense, in this system, right? That's one of the biggest reasons why I love this move from Baltimore. I think that he just gives you some insurance in that quarterback position, okay? Because think about it. We already know he fits perfectly. We already know he knows the scheme, okay? God forbid Lamar Jackson goes down. He would compete to start. I think the nod would probably go to Cooper Rush, but they'd at least have another guy on their practice squad with Tyler Huntley that knows everything like what it's like to be a Baltimore Ravens quarterback, right? And so it wouldn't just automatically be, okay, Lamar's down, Cooper, this is your team now. Tyler Huntley would have a chance to compete for that job and prove to them, hey, look, while Lamar's down, and again, knock on wood that this doesn't have to happen, he has a chance to prove I can lead this team to a victory because I know how to run this offense. And at the end of the day, like, give me Huntley over Leary all day, any day of the week, and twice on Sundays, literally, okay? I think that this is finally, we can say, the Devin Leary experiment's over. And that's why they did this. You know, they've had Leary around since the 2024 draft. They had him on the practice squad all last year. Obviously, he was with the team in training camp, with the team in preseason. And this is them finally saying, you know, we don't trust you to ever be able to run this team. Not even enough to get you back on the practice squad. So they went out, they got Snoop Huntley, and now he gives them some great insurance in the quarterback position. Coming up, don't go anywhere, okay? I got a full practice squad reveal. You're not going to want to miss it, okay? 17 names. I'm going to break down where some other people may have gone that got caught from yesterday's 90-man roster. But before we do anything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we got new seats in the office, and now I'm sitting across from our Steelers Talk host, Jack Sperry. I know, gag me. I need to find a new job. He was talking trash today and was saying, Joey, this channel, talking about his, has been so hot recently. And I said, you know what? Ours has been hot too. It's been a busy week. We've been crushing it. He challenged me to a race to 50 subs. Now, I can't lose to my desk mate. So I need you guys to help me out. Hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so. Locks you in for daily coverage. And also it helps make a Steelers fan day worse. And I can't think of anything better. Let's talk practice squad now, okay? Tyler Huntley, Gerard Christian Lichtenhand, Thomas Graham, Malik Ham, Keandre Jackson, Keith Kirkwood, Chandler Martin, Anthony Miller, Zaire Mitchell-Payton, Basil Okeye, Jared Penning, Marquise Robinson, Kamon Rucker, Nick Samak, Lucas Scott, Brent Urban, DeErnest Johnson round out your 17 total practice squad players. For a guy like Brent Urban, okay, I expect him in a way to play some type of a role eventually on the 53-man roster. I don't know at which point, but if I had to place a bet on all those 17 players I just listed, the one who's most likely to play the most amount of snaps in actual games, Brent Urban would be my pick. Okay, because a little bit like Snoop, he's been here before. He knows what it's like to play in this defense, and he played for this defense a good bit last season, okay? Now, for the other guys, there's three I really, really love that you're keeping around outside of Brent Urban, okay? I love that you're keeping Anthony Miller. I love that you're keeping Keith Kirkwood, and I love that you're keeping Chandler Martin. All three of those guys, I would feel decently good about getting called up to the 53-man roster if there are injuries in those positions. We saw it last year with Anthony Miller. He played some pretty good couple of snaps, minutes, right? We saw him in the playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. Keith Kirkwood, I've really liked what he's shown so far during training camp, preseason, even training camp last year. And then Chandler Martin, the UDFA linebacker out of Memphis. I just am happy he's still on this team because he's so athletic. I think he's got a really high ceiling still in the National Football League. Now, there are two guys that didn't make that list, and that's because they got claimed off of waivers today. So Jalyn Armour-Davis now reunites with a former secondary coach who was with the Ravens, now is with Tennessee. He's a Titan. And Beau Brade is now a New York Giant. At the end of the day, I'm still a little bit surprised that we cut Jalyn Armour-Davis. And I get their reasoning behind it. I get their explanations behind it. But I just didn't see it coming, okay? And I'm not going to pretend to you like I did. I still think he would have been a valuable depth piece for a team who has a couple of cornerbacks, namely Chidobe Awuzie and Jair Alexander, who have struggled with injuries in their careers. Now, for Beau Brade, he had the opportunity in front of him. It was served to him on a silver platter, okay? Everybody knew when Ardarius Washington went down, Beau Brade was the top guy with the ability to take that spot from him. And he just didn't do it. And you can't get mad about that. He can't get mad about that. He had every chance in the world, and he didn't take it, okay? It's a shame because I liked him a lot, but I think they made the right decision. Let me know, of those 17, who's your favorite practice squad player? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think mine, I'm going to go Chandler Martin. I like that guy a lot. You know what else I like a lot is our friends over at PrizePicks. And right now, okay, use our code CLNS. You get $50 when you just play 5. And football season's coming up. You're going to want to take advantage of that as quickly as you can. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Preseason football is over. College football is underway, so don't miss any of the action this season on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. I talk college football all week long because it's one of my favorite things in the world. And we've got it starting on Saturday with a big one, Texas, Ohio State. Give me the more on both Arch Manning, 1.5 passing touchdowns, and the more on Jeremiah Smith, 77.5 receiving yards. Well, give me the less on Garrett Nussmeier, 278.5 pass yards. I think that Clemson front's going to be very, very difficult for the LSU Tigers. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, run your game. The last little bit of today's show is kind of going to be a little bit of a news dump, okay? Ravens that are not practicing today: Marlon Humphrey, Tyler Loop, Pat Ricard, Isaiah Likely, Jake Hummel, and Jair Alexander. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I'm a little concerned about Jair Alexander. He hasn't practiced since August 9th. And, I'm not overreacting about this. I get this a lot when I've talked about this subject. Joey, calm down. Stop freaking out. Guys, he showed us the playbook before. You could see it in the last 4 seasons he's played. Barely played, I should add. 4 games played in 2021, 16 in 2022, but 7 in each of his last 2 seasons he's been out there on the field. And he's already dealing with injuries, and he hasn't practiced in 3 weeks. And I don't know. I don't think I'm overreacting when I say I don't love that. Now, with Isaiah Likely, I'm curious to see if he'll be ready to go once week 1 rolls around. I hope he is, because that's such a big game. But I don't want to rush him back to just keep him not 100% for the majority of the season. Now, you do kind of need Isaiah Likely in that opening gauntlet. It's a tough one. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel. I love it, frankly. I love that you got a hard schedule this year. I love that you play a lot of quality opponents. I think it's going to be better for this team in the long run. But it's a tough stretch nonetheless, and you need one of your best playmakers there. Kyle Hamilton, as we know earlier today, signed a 4-year, $100 million contract, $82 million of that is guaranteed. And it got me thinking, okay? He's been signed, right? He signed that dotted line. But he's not going to be the last one over the next couple of months. And Eric DeCosta actually mentioned that it's something that keeps him up at night, thinking about all the contracts and all the extensions he's going to have to sign over the next year or so. Because Isaiah Likely could be next up, Tyler Linderbaum, Lamar Jackson, Travis Jones, Odafe Oweh, all 5 of those guys have real cases to Eric DeCosta, this ownership group. Hey, or not ownership group, the ownership. Hey, we deserve the money. We deserve to get paid, especially those top 3. Obviously, Lamar, there's going to be no doubt about it. He's going to get his money. Probably same with Isaiah, probably same with Tyler. Most likely with those 2 down at the bottom, but we don't know, guys. It's a lot of money committed to a lot of different players. They're going to have to figure it all out. Of those 5, who do you think gets extended next? Actually, it doesn't have to be of those 5. It could be anybody. If you think it's somebody else, let me know in the comment section down below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's episode of the Ravens Rundown. My name is Joey Petersen. Make sure you got me on Twitter and on Instagram. More than anything, though, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. This is the best place to be, okay? Football is here. It's ramping up, and we're going to have you covered right here on the channel better than anywhere else on this platform. So if you have not yet, join us today for daily coverage of your Baltimore Ravens.